One of the fun things with iGEMS is that you've got the ability to write apps that might help to make things that you do on a day-to-day basis maybe a little bit easier. For example, go to our apps tab, a couple apps I've written where we'll often do test cutting and we want to cut a shape and show 5 different qualities on that shape. I've got this app that allows you easily make a shape and then you can put the different qualities on there. Today I want to show a little app that I've written that might be of interest to people that do a lot of nesting for water only cutting perhaps. So let's go back to this tab here. So we've got all these shapes that we want to nest, and normally of course we go to nest and auto, select our parts, enter, select your sheets, enter, and let's just do 5 of each of these. And I'll just put in a bunch of parts here and nest. And for the purpose of this app, I'm going to check the layout mode box here. And actually I'm going to do this for 2 heads. Let's go back here. Let's turn on 2 heads. So you might end up with a nest something like this. We've got currently 14 different sheets here, 12 different layouts. And I'll just hit stop and OK. So at this point, normally what you do, come to your CAM tab, you can set your order button, and FYI, if you right click on your order button, you've got this options button here, and if you set multi-sheet mode to true, and you've got a bunch of sheets like this, and you drag a box around there, it'll put a 00 point on each sheet. And then of course you go to your process button and you make your different files. So you could make 12 different CNC files, tell the operator to run this one twice, or you make 14 individual CNC files, so 14 times going through making the CNC file back and forth. What my little app does here is, rather than do the multi-sheet mode on this, you would set this to false and click OK, and then set your 00 point. Now it's going to put 100 point for all these sheets. So it's going to make one large CNC file with all these parts in there. So now we just have to go to process once. And then it's going to give us these messages that the CNC file seems to be much larger than our cross beam. That's fine. So now we've got this one large CNC file with this new app here, what I call multi-sheet. Click on that, and this image up here just basically shows us where the machine 00 point is and the labels for the X and Y axes, and then give it the sheet size. You do have to have one single sheet size for this app currently. If you don't know what sheet size is, don't remember, you can click on this little button here and click on one of these sheets and it'll pick up what the X and Y size are. If you had previously done the same sheet, you can click here, it'll pull that, and then give it the CNC file that you want to split. Click OK, and gives us a message that it created 14 CNC files now. And if we click into here, we'll open up the main one that we started with and then 2 of the ones that it created. So this was the main file that it split up. And then these are 2 of the resulting files. So at the end of this one, because we had multiple heads selected, it sets the heads to 16 inches at the start of the next file. I basically buffered that line of code and stick that at the start of the next CNC file so that the head spacing carries over correctly, and then it's going to wrap it to this point for the next part here. So if we go to the original CNC file, I'm just going to copy that. So we'll see here that the Y was 136, and because these sheets are 120 inches long, and when you use the layout mode in IGEMS for the nesting, it puts 10% of the X and the Y between the sheets. So we would subtract 120 and 12 from that, and then in the resulting file we end up with 4.974 for that. So theoretically it should also work the same way for abrasive. I've run it through some different tests. Looks reasonable. If you're interested in testing this out, you can let me know and I'll get you the appropriate files. And have a great day. Thanks.